our next session. It's the 9th of August. It's gonna be a hot one, but we're starting at 10. And the boys were way out in the pasture. And when they saw Tavis coming towards them, they said, oh, we better get to the training area. You can see they're following along without resistance. This morning when I brought their carrots out to them, I told them there was going to be school today. We are supposed to have an extra team member today, so if he shows up, we're going to saddle up both boys. Otherwise, we'll just saddle up Alpha and go to the next step with him, which is possibly getting into the saddle, depending upon how he's behaving. Yeah, here comes Beta. Doesn't want to be behind. They totally understand what they're supposed to be doing now. By the way, school attendance in the public schools is worse than ever. Families are choosing not to send their kids to public schools. And private schools and charter schools and homeschooling are trying to take over. Okay, now here's Beta. He said, I'm going to wait for a minute. You can see he's walking over toward the well pasture. Yes, he's trying to stay up with Tavis and Alpha. They know they're in school. And I jokingly call it school, but I don't know what name they have affixed to it in their minds, but they definitely know they're gonna be tacked up in the training area and gonna be asked to do something with lead lines, ground driving lines, saddles, carts. We'll see how it goes today. They definitely know that Tavis is their trainer. He left one panel open in front of shed 2. I think his intention is to just take him to the tack area through that panel opening. And then we'll see if our extra team member is here. But if not, we'll just go ahead and saddle up Alpha. This is our gate that we close at night to keep the alpacas and the goats. We now have 2 sanctuary goats, and here they are. We want to keep them safe at night when it's dark. I'm going to be moving the camera just enough to close up this gate again, and in a moment I'll show you what the goats are doing here. They haven't been here for a session yet. It's Blackie and Brownie. They love living here. We do corral them up in a safe fence to keep neighborhood dogs and wildlife out at night when it's dark. Otherwise, they appear to be very, very happy here and choose not to go anywhere else. Even though they can get under all my fences, under all my gates, Blackie and Brownie. And eventually, we probably, if we can build a cart small enough, we'll have them pulling a cart. I've seen it on YouTube. Okay, now I'm going to make my way toward the tacking area. We put a knee weight on from Tavis on the saddle last time the boys were saddled up, and they gave no indication of concern about feeling weight. Let's saddle them both up. Even if our extra team member doesn't show up, we'll have the saddle on. We'll go out, challenge them to what we want them next to learn and do, and then come back in and take the saddles off. But the way you put your knee on the saddle last time, yes, I know the boys are here. Davis just noticed the
fence is almost knocked down. You see the fence?
Okay. Oh, yeah, we've got to fix that. Okay, that's portable panels. Thank you for noticing that. They go under every fence and every gate without an eye blink.
Yeah.
These fences are stronger if you have enough panels so that you can give an angle at each connection. Okay, now look how Alpha's standing quietly. What does he say about approaching with the saddle? It's a little bit hesitant, but seems to be okay. Seems to be watching his peripheral vision on his left eyeball. Remember, for my English saddle here, which is pretty lightweight, I made a smaller cinch, a shorter cinch, so we can cinch it up securely. Oh, the boys are having a little bit of an issue. But there's no doubt in my mind that they know they're here for exactly what they're doing. They knew they were coming to the tacking area when they saw Tavis walk out there. Is that about as tight as you can cinch it? Okay. Now, can Tavis, without the extra helper, saddle up Beta? This is a small area, so he's just putting the lead line on Alpha's neck. And remember, we have all our tack here in lidded garbage cans. Now, will Beta allow the halter to be put on him, just like Alpha just did? Yes, he did. No problem.
Easy.
He's allowing the saddle blanket to be put on without concern. Here's our cloth saddle with stirrups added and a shorter cinch.
I think Josh might be here.
Oh, you think so?
I think.
You might have heard him. That would be good. Look how good these two boys are. And this is the first time we've been able to video the pygmy goats. They've lived here for about 4 or 5 days. They seem really settled in. And eventually, if I have a small enough little cart or scooter, we're gonna teach them to pull too. I've seen it on YouTube. I know we can do it. Remind me, Tavis, the last time we saddled up, was it on beta or alpha? When you put your knee on them?
Alpha.
Alpha. See if you can step up with the blue step up over here where it's flat and put your knee on beta's back without him getting concerned. That's for the extra weight. Make sure you're on flat ground. Now we've got to position him correctly. Let's see if he'll allow it. And I'll move over here so we can watch it. Just having Tavis overhead could be scary to them. But so far, so good. No scared maneuvers, no trying to get away. Oh, here comes our extra helper. Wonderful. Josh is here. Try to come in. No rush. And you take Alpha's lead line.
Wow, that's amazing.
I told Josh yesterday that he'll be amazed at the progress we've made.
Okay, what do I do?
Just take the lead line.
Lead on him. You can
Okay,
grab the lead.
just walk over there?
Yeah. Okay, just take the lead line. Just let him know you're coming. Touch him on his neck. Remember, he doesn't know you too well yet. It's all right. Okay, he said, no. He said, that's not my trainer. Got it? Okay, and then we don't pull. We just tug. Tug, and then try not to look at him when you're asking him to go with you. You look at where you want to go. You do that with horses too, and cows. This is the first time, Josh, we've had saddles on both of them.
That's awesome.
Every time we have a lesson, we try to make a little bit of progress. Forward motion progress.
Going towards you? Yeah, what do you want to do? You want to take them out? Or
Yeah, I want to take them out in the big pasture together.
Yeah, and while we're walking them, just kind of, whenever you can, just
And Tavis is giving Josh
Okay.
some advice based on what we've learned by doing with these two boys. Now, my eldest daughter has 2 children. If she comes to visit me this summer, will we feel comfortable letting each of her small children ride together on my boys into the large pasture? So far, I see no problem that I would be concerned about. But it could happen. Here, by the way, is where the fence is down. We're going to have to pick that back up after our lesson today. And if we make a shorter route to the railroad tie fence, we'll be able to put more angle in. I also have a couple extra panels at my other ranch. I can bring them. Okay, now that was Beta, who just did a roundabout. Why he did, I don't know, but that would be not an acceptable answer if a child were on his back. When I accepted these goats into the sanctuary, I was told that their prior owner used to go out of town without providing attendance for them. And although he had them up for sale, instead he donated them to the sanctuary. As I do not believe in leaving an animal, any animal, without attendance. Even my little min pin mix dog. I either have a caregiver at home to watch her, or I take her with me. Now, do these 2 alpaca boys look like riding alpacas? They look like it, but do I evaluate them as being ready to have a rider? Beta is still a little bit antsy. Tavis is taking them to the route we've used in the past that goes to their water tub, so I'll walk out there. Remember, I bred, raised, and trained 5 Morgan horses and 3 mini cows. And I'm using the principles I learned during those training decades to train my alpacas, along with YouTube. Every night I watch at least 1 or 2 shows concerning alpacas. I'm carefully walking through ground that is not flat, but is somewhat irrigated. The irrigation goes on 3 times a day, 7 in the morning, noon, and 7 in the evening, because we have to rely on the 5,000-gallon tank to allow the irrigation run to complete each time. And so it has to have time to fill. can you walk around the perimeter and show Josh and the boys each gate that we have? Because we are going to start going out onto the rancho's trails. First without riders, then with riders. Now over there near the auto gate there is a double gate out to the driveway. I have all these gates locked because I don't want anybody coming into my pasture unless I know that they're coming in, whether or not I'm in the pasture myself. This is a relaxation area, a grazing area. As a matter of fact, the goats haven't come out here yet. They kind of like it back there, and there they are in the area of the house, and then behind the house in the shed area. That's a very likely gate that we're going to use to go out where Tavis is right now, and I told him when he goes by to shake the gate. They've been out there with lead lines, but they haven't been out there with saddles on and with any riders in the saddles. So those are the perceived purpose of all these lessons. We're going to do that. We're going to have family gatherings. We're going to have children less than 100 pounds riding the alpacas with lead line control at first. And maybe for a long time until we're pretty sure the alpacas will respond to any kind of head controls. We don't use bits with alpacas, but just a slight pressure. For example, with a left rein or a left connection to the halter would mean to the alpaca eventually, that means move away from the pressure, so they would go right. There is a gate there at the corner where they're heading. Oh, and look who's in the big pasture. I haven't seen them in here in the entire 4 or 5 days that they've been here. And I'm hoping that if they do get out on the trails, whatever way they got out, they'll have enough sense to come back in. But I'm watching them. I watch them day and night. The boys are all the way at that corner gate. And remember, each one of these gates takes us out to trails that go around in the ranchos for 20 lineal miles where no motorized vehicles are allowed. I'm watching very closely. What are the pygmy goats gonna do? I hope they follow us back to their accustomed grazing areas. There come the alpacas down the other side of my property, on the inside of my fence. And here come the goats. They seem to be interested to follow me, which is what I was hoping. But remember, this is a flagged lot. There are no roads where there's vehicular traffic allowed anywhere around this lot. Okay, Tavis just had a little bit of a spook. And here are the boys. I stopped, so they stopped, so I'll keep walking. I stopped, so they stopped. If nothing else, they're learning how to get back to the places they're comfortable if they happen to come out here in the big pasture. As I've said, in the 4 or 5 days they've been here, I haven't seen them choose to come out here yet. But I've seen them go under gates like that in an eye blink. They just duck their heads and walk under. They're making little sounds behind me. I don't understand yet one word of goat sounds. I'm trying to learn bark language, and I kind of can tell you a little bit about what a bark means when my Min-Pin mix dog barks, because I watch her body language, I watch her replies to whatever it is she was barking at. Yeah, the boys are coming back. That's great. They're watching the alpacas. I was Googling pygmy goats and care, and they call those little feet hooves. I call them paws. But they said you gotta watch it and keep them trimmed and keep the toenails trimmed. Okay, I'm gonna see if they're gonna follow me out, because I'm gonna get a head start back to the back pasture and the training area. And recall that here in the well pasture we have these shelters for our farm equipment and our hauling equipment. Looks like the boys are coming back with me. I have extra lines of finish line fencing back here where they are at night when I can't always know exactly where they are. Even though I have lights and cameras, sometimes I can't find them. So I do come out. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the route that the alpaca boys will be taking. And the goat boys are back here with us. They're kind of curious about the goats. The alpaca boys are curious about the goat boys.
What's the name of the goats?
Just a little bit of a tug or your hand around their neck should give them focus on you. I don't blame them for focusing on the goats. That's something new to their routine. makes sense for me to do today is to go get the 2 extra panels at my other sanctuary ranch and put them in here with more bend rather than making this training area smaller.